Hello fellow space engineers, GopeScope here from the GopeScope gaming channel, and I'm happy to welcome you back for a rather exciting episode. I have received word from a Void Corp representative that the destruction of the stealth drone cameras was a result of a simple misunderstanding. In the course of investigating the recent accident involving a defense missile striking their own hauler, they stepped up their security scans, which led them to finding the drones. They thought these drones posed a threat and had something to do with the incident. They have warned me not to use stealth cameras in their territory in the future, but have apologized for the loss of the equipment. As a gesture of goodwill, they have given me exclusive and unlimited access to their new ship, the Tremble-class Orbital Bombardment vessel. I was given an opportunity to examine this ship inside and out. We will take a look at the new drop pods we got a sneak peek of last time, but for now, let's go to the footage of the Tremble to get a look at this new ship. As the name would suggest, this vessel is designed to take up position in orbit and bombard targets on the surface. The bombardment system is made up of 6 bays, which each build and launch their own bombs, resulting in an impressive and devastating hail of destruction. The bays are protected by a blast shield, and the underside of the vessel, which would face the planet's surface when in operation, is protected by some heavy armor in key areas as well as 2 Gatling turrets and 2 missile turrets. This ship is not, however, a frontline combat vessel, and so you'll notice the protection on the sides and top of the vessel is substantially less than the bottom. This is because, while it may be facing threats from the surface when bombardment is underway, the vessel would not be deployed to an area where space superiority had not already been established. The Tremble is equipped with far more thrusters on the underside than one would normally see on a ship like this, and this is because the vessel needs to maintain its distance from the surface while deploying its weapons, and needs to be able to escape the gravitational pull of the planet when it is ready to depart. While we're on the subject of thrusters, let's run through the ship's specifications. It has a mass of about 2.1 million kilograms. Its power system consists of 6 small reactors and 1 large. Its thrusters can deliver a force of 7.6 million newtons forward, 600,000 newtons port and starboard, 3.4 million newtons retro, 3.7 million newtons keel, and 1.2 million newtons dorsal. It has 12 gyroscopes, giving it a kilogram to gyro ratio of about 180,000. It can accelerate from 0 to 20 meters per second in 5.8 seconds. It has a life support system consisting of 1 oxygen generator and 2 oxygen tanks, has 4 automated airlocks, and has a weapons complement of 4 Gatling and 2 missile turrets, as well as 6 bomb bays. Its cargo capacity of 391,000 liters allows a Tremble-class bombardment vessel to deploy about 1,100 bombs from its 6 bays before needing to resupply. It can deploy bombs at a rate of about 3 bombs per second, which means this vessel can continuously launch from its 6 bays for about 6 minutes before depleting its ammunition. Let's start the tour of the inside of the vessel by entering through the port side airlock. As we approach the airlock, you can see there's a camera and connector. On both sides of this vessel, there is a docking connector and a camera associated with that in order to facilitate an easier docking experience. And as we come to this outside of the airlock, you'll see it's open. As we enter in and move forward, we're triggering a sensor which automatically closes the door behind us, repressurizes the airlock, and opens the door inside. You can see some air there, where the vent is hidden in the floor. And as we enter in to the main ship, you can see the first few of many timer blocks that run the automated airlock system in this vessel, as well as the bombardment system that we will look at in the forward section. Here we come to the battle bridge, which is our first left after entering in through the port side. There is a programming computer, some more timing blocks, and a control seat. And as we move along towards the starboard side, we can see the large reactor, which is the primary source of power on this vessel, along with a half a dozen small reactors, which also provide power, and a remote control block located down here. We'll move forward in a moment, but first let's continue to move starboard to take a look at the med bay. Here we have 2 of the 3 cryopods on this vessel, as well as the medical facilities. And if we were to continue this way, we'd be leaving through the starboard side airlock, which is exactly the same as the port side airlock in terms of the way it functions. Above us here we can see the gravity generator, and if we move up, we will be entering the area of the flying bridge, which has a view of the landing platform on the outside, as well as 2 more airlocks that lead to that section of the ship, and we will be there in a little while. And if we get up all the way to the top, we can see where the control seat is, with a reasonably good view for a combat vessel. out the front and top. This vessel is, of course, not designed to be a frontline combat vessel, which is why it's possible for there to be more windows, because this ship would not be deployed somewhere where we would be expecting to see an attack taking place from above or the sides. It may see threats from below on the surface when it is bombarding an installation or some kind of target, but generally we wouldn't expect to see an attack from above, or something has gone completely wrong in the strategy in deploying this ship. So here we come down towards the front of the vessel. We pass one of the vents that helps to pressurize the aft section. This is a door that's normally open but can be closed in case of depressurization of the fore or aft section in order to isolate one of those compartments, so that if there is a leak or damage to the ship that causes depressurization in this section or this section, at least part of the ship can remain pressurized. Now if we take a left here, we are entering one of the observation rooms, and there is a mirrored observation room on the other side. If we push this button, we can retract the blast doors that protect this observation platform, and we can see down. We have a view out the bottom, which is an area that you could use to watch the bombs falling if you would choose to do so. But if there was to be any threat or concern of retaliation from the targets you're attacking, one might want to keep these blast doors closed and stay away from these rooms, because one could potentially take some damage or be attacked. And if we move up, we will see another of the airlock systems, which is also automated. That brings us out onto that hangar deck we saw just a moment ago. This, of course, is not a pressurized hangar deck. It is totally open, but there's enough room to land a couple of Sun Spiders or perhaps one larger small ship here. Depending on what's needed, it could be some kind of precision strike bomber, or could be some kind of Sunspider type defense craft to help protect this ship. And if we head back down, we will be activating the airlock as we return, and we can move forward to the business end of this vessel. You can see here is the oxygen generator. There are also the 2 oxygen tanks, which are located in an area that's not visible. And down here we have sort of the main bomb bay area, as well as the quarters for the crew forward there, and one more cryopod. As we'll see in a little while in a demonstration, these are the bomb bay blast doors, the welders which actually build the bombs, and those are the merge blocks that connect them until they are deployed. And you can see some more timer blocks up there that again are helping to facilitate the staggered bombing formation that we'll be seeing in just a moment. And as we move forward, this is the very front of the ship, and we have beds for crew, another vent for pressurizing this section of the ship. As mentioned before, we can split with that door in the middle of the ship, the front section from the aft, and so both sections have their own vents for pressurization. And that brings us to the conclusion of the interior tour of this vessel, and so now let's take a look at how it actually operates. I'm back at the ADY test site to bring you a live test firing with the Tremble-class bombardment vessel. I'm told the ship is inbound now, and we'll get to see why they call this ship Tremble firsthand, from a safe distance. I think I can see the first bombs now, and as you can see, the sky is quickly filled with these explosives. This view reminds me of a waterfall, but of course, instead of water, it's hot death and destruction raining down. I can only imagine just how terrifying it would be to be on the receiving end of such a barrage. Now, I was assured this structure would be a safe distance from the test, but these bombs are beginning to fall a little too close for comfort. Looking at the flight path of the vessel above, it looks like it will pass directly over me unless I'm imagining... No, I'm not imagining anything. The explosions are walking toward me. How do I activate these defense turrets? My God, they don't have any ammunition. It would appear that this will be my last broadcast. It has been an honor to bring you the news and...
Get in.
Aren't you a Crimson Corsair?
There's no time. Get in now or die under a hail of VC bombs.
This ship will be available on the Steam Workshop in the Void Corp collection. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more. Where are you taking me?
To Prester John.